Hey YouTube, this is my second video I'm making. My first one was the sticky bolt issue, and this next one's going to be a really long, complete disassembly of the Mosin Nagant. Okay, so pull up your pants because this is going to take a while. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do is remove the bolt, which was in my last video. You just pull on the trigger and pull back. We're not going to get to the bolt disassembly because I'm going to make another video of that. Just going to put that over here. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get these barrel bands and push down these little springs and pull the little barrel bands out of the way. There's one up here too. Just going to get it and push it down and then pull it all the way, and it should go right over there. And then this little piece just lifts off. Alright, now for these next couple parts, you might need to use, if you got one of these little kits with your Mosin Nagant, inside of it there's going to be a little thing that I showed you in the last video, a little Mosin multi-tool, and you can just use it for the rest. So now what you're going to want to do is right here there's a bolt. You're going to want to undo that. I'm just going to put that right there. And then on the top there's one right in the back. Just going to want to unscrew that. Tricky little thing. Okay, now that those two are done, just got the two screws. And then what you can do is you can just pull this little clip out, and we'll just put that to the side. And then it's easiest for me if I start from the top, the front of it, and I lift up and then just kind of drag my fingers under and then push up like this on the trigger to lift it completely out. And now it's out of the stock completely, and we'll set the stock aside. There's one other part of this clip. You want to open it by pushing back on this little spring, and you can close it. If you close it all the way, it opens up that, and you can pull it right out. You can see the little action it has right there. When you push it in, it opens it up. Okay, now I'll set those two things aside. Now the next big thing is this entire little region right here. It's not too complex, but there's a bunch of little things you have to take off. Okay, first I'm going to get the trigger, which, I mean, you can just get that thing out by just wiggling it around a little, and that little pin should just come out. See, just pull the little pin out, set that to the side, and then before you can pull the trigger out, you're going to have to get your little Mosin multi-tool and unscrew the screw that holds down the trigger spring. So you're just going to want to unscrew that. It's a really short little screw, it's only like that. Okay, and then you can lift this out. And now, see, they just fit kind of like that, and it's pretty simple. Okay, now that gets the whole trigger assembly. The next part is this little piece. It's like a little strip right here that holds the rounds down in the magazine clip. It's kind of like a spring action thingy, and it's not that hard to take out, but it can get a little bit stubborn. Now the way I like to do this, it's a little easier, is you can just take your finger and you can push up on this one part, and it'll like unlatch out of the whole thing. And you want to push up on it, and at the same time put your finger on the inside of the barrel, or not the barrel, but like the chamber, and push that other thin little metal piece, and it should come right out. Looks just like that. Set that to the side, and now get your little Mosin multi-tool, and you're going to want to unscrew this screw that's right here. I'll And this is just a tiny little screw. You can see it's really tiny. Okay, now the way to get this little part out right here is you're going to have to pull back on it and kind of wiggle a little, because it's kind of like stuck under two lips right there. And then it's just a little spring. Well, not really a spring, but it's pretty much. And then you have your Mosin completely disassembled. And what I recommend doing is, after you get all of this taken apart, you just take some gun cleaner and you go through all of these and get all of the cosmoline, if yours had any, or any of the grease out of it, and you can oil these parts if you want to. And that made mine a lot smoother, my trigger pull a lot smoother, and it made the round holder a lot smoother, so my super clips would go in easier. And if you want to take this off, I haven't gotten to that yet because I don't want to mess up my sights, but there's two, you might be able to see them. There's a pin right here and a pin right there, and you just have to push those through and it'll lift up. But I didn't want to bother with that because of my sights being off, so I didn't. Well, thanks for watching.